Hi guys, greetings from Bulgaria. I am Anton, and in today's tutorial we're going to discuss how to automate passwordless authentication using Selenium WebDriver. Let's check the different topics. So first we're going to discuss quickly what is passwordless authentication, why this type of authentication exists, why and what makes a passwordless login different, and the various challenges and considerations. In the second big part of this tutorial, we're going to see a demo application that I created specifically for this tutorial, written in Node.js, that we are going to automate two scenarios, like one using one-time passwords received via email, and then a second scenario, one-time passwords received via SMS. And of course, we're going to automate them and discuss all of the best practices related to this. So let's get started. But first, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit the ring bell so that you get notified when new videos are published to the channel. Each week new videos are coming up. Also check the awesome Lambda test blog, where you can find endless set of articles on various topics about automated testing. And in the description below you will find all the related resources to this particular tutorial, including the source code that it's published on GitHub, and also the source code of the demo application that I created specifically for this tutorial. So let's quickly discuss what is passwordless authentication. As I said, specifically, if you haven't watched, there is a first part related to this application about single sign-on. It's a very interesting tutorial where I teach you how to automate such authentications that use service providers like Google and Facebook. It's very interesting, check it out. But really quickly, I developed this Node.js application. Again, you can find it in the links below. It's a portable application that you can start directly from the console. You just need to have installed Node.js, and then it's full-fledged website where you can register a new user. You have this standard login. Even there are more advanced scenarios, like in other videos we're going to discuss how to automate when we enable two-factor authentication. We have since this application have underlying web API connected to it, and we can register users using the API. We can change their statuses, we can generate the two-factor authentication codes, and many more exciting stuff. And in today's tutorial we're going to discuss these scenarios where we can log in with one-time passwords received via email and SMS. This is called passwordless login. For example, when we log in to this website, it's like a standard website where we have this type of profile where you can edit your details like username, telephone number, password, etc. And we are going to do exactly this when we log in with the email received. So let's quickly discuss. By the way, this website is built using Bootstrap framework. In order to look like these tabs and some JavaScripts part of it. What is passwordless login? For example, if you have used Slack, for example, Slack, they send you these unique URLs, magic links to authenticate. This is a type of passwordless login. So passwordless login is an authentication method where the user does not need to enter traditional password to gain access to an account. Instead, these other methods like one-time passwords, biometric data, magic links, they are sent via email, SMS, or even these push-ups. For example, recently Google are using them more and more when you have this Android phone. So why this passwordless authentication exists? The first part is related to usability. Remembering numerous complex passwords is challenging, and these passwordless systems, they offer you a smoother user experience. And from security perspective, these traditional passwords can be phished, guessed, or even brute forced. And when this type of authentication is implemented correctly, this reduces those risks. You know, we as users often reuse the same passwords across multiple platforms, and this is a big security risk. And eliminating the need for passwords, this eliminates this risk. These one-time passwords that we are going to receive, they're time sensitive, which means that when they are sent via email or SMS, or generated by the app, this code is entered here in the place of instead of password, and this code is valid just for one login session or transaction. The next time you cannot reuse it. The same is valid for the so-called magic links. As I said, Slack are sending those. Basically, this unique URL sent to user's email, when clicked, it authenticates and locks the user in. Or when you want to authenticate, you receive a push-up notification on your phone, and you need to verify that it's you. It's the same is valid for this authentication authenticator apps that we are going to discuss in another tutorial, how to overcome this with these one-time passwords that are refreshed really quickly. So what makes this passwordless authentication different? Unlike static passwords, data like OTPs, this is the short for one-time passwords, they change constantly and are valid just for short duration. And many of these passwordless methods rely on user having access to a specific device, like for example my phone, for this SMS OTP, or biometric scanning, or even face recognition. For example, if you own iPhone, or even right now other, there is a similar method for Android as well. And however, there are some significant challenges and considerations. You need to think about what happens if the user loses their phone or cannot access their email. You need to have a robust and secure fallback mechanism. This is crucial. Also, while passwordless can be more secure than traditional passwords, it's not immune to threats. For example, these one-time codes received via emails or SMS, they can be intercepted or redirected. And you need to make sure that this new type of authentication mechanism and approach, you need to educate your users or clients for the benefits and the potential risks. So let's get started now to look how to automate this particular website, right? If you haven't watched my video on the channel about email testing, I suggest to do so. There I'm explaining in many details how we can automate different scenarios about receiving emails, getting the authentication links, etc. But really quickly, I will, for those of you that don't have the time to check it out, I will explain everything now. Usually when we need to verify emails, you can use, for example, your Gmail account. You can create a test one, and then Google, they offer code-based solutions to access the emails and extract the codes. However, the code there is a little bit more challenging than other services, for example, Mail Swap. This is the service that I'm going to show you. There is one more that I used before in the other video. It's called TestMu app. Both of them, they have Java clients. And the benefit here is that, and this is why I'm going to show you these particular services, is that they are going to generate you unique inboxes every time, basically unique emails. This is especially important when you need to create different accounts and registrations, because, for example, if you have just a single test user for your registration here, you won't be able to register again with the same email if you don't have a mechanism for deleting this user, right? So these services, they're unique because they're going to generate you unique inbox and email every time through this Java client, and you can use it for registrations, making purchases, etc. If you use the approach with a single inbox using Gmail, for example, that's fine. For example, for this authentication here, maybe this will be enough, but many often in our applications we need much more than one account. It's best even, the best practice is even to have every test to be unique, to have a unique account, to uniquely create the order, support tickets, or whatever you're automating for it specifically. Otherwise, it will be trickier to isolate what happened. For example, if you have 200 tests and one of them is failing, it will be harder to isolate the problems if you use a single account. So this is why we are going to use Mail Swap. As you can see here, when they have a free version, they have a paid version depending on the amount of emails that you need. Here I just made a free account and installed the necessary dependencies that I'm going to show you. So let's see. As I said, you can download the full source code in the link below. This is a standard Selenium project for Java. I'm using Maven and JUnit together with Selenium. So if you're not familiar with JUnit, there is one more video that I really quick explain all of the things that you need to know about unit testing, and also there is a dedicated series about JUnit on the Lambda Test YouTube channel if you want to dig deeper into the topic. But really short, you need these dependencies. They will allow you to run tests through IntelliJ or from the command line. Also, I installed the latest version of Selenium and WebDriver Manager. Keep in mind that from now on I'm using the latest version here of Selenium that already doesn't require to have WebDriver Manager, because inside of it, this new version of Selenium 4.11, it's using Selenium Manager, which is automatically downloading the proper driver, and even it's using Chrome for testing, and in version 4.12 it's using Firefox for testing as well. This is a portable version of the two browsers that it's going to be downloaded if you don't have the browser installed, which is really awesome. However, it's still in beta. This is why I am still using WebDriver Manager. And for Mail Swap, we need to install this particular client. I'm going to show you the documentation where I saw that, but you need this Mail Swap /client/Java. I'm using the latest version, and this will give me all of the classes needed to be able to create unique inbox to access the latest emails, etc. And about the SMS, we'll discuss this shortly, but we're going to use a third-party service called Twilio. So I will need this Twilio SDK installed in order to be able to access my phone number that I bought, that is part of my account, in order to be able to read all of the latest SMS. So here I have a simple class where I have a few things. Before all of the tests, again I'm using JUnit. This method will be executed before all of the tests. I'm downloading, as I said, as a fallback mechanism for now. I'm still using Bonnie Garcia's WebDriver Manager to download the latest Chrome. After that, I'm starting the Chrome browser, and in order to be able to use MailSwap inbox, I copied this from the documentation. We'll use this default client and inbox controller classes or instances here to be able to create a unique inbox and to read the latest emails. So I created a single test now where I'm going to log in using this mechanism. So I'm navigating to my localhost, which is where on this port my Node.js application is listening, and let's return to it. So first I'm going to click on this particular tab. We can click on it using the ID. Then here first we need to generate this unique inbox to get a unique email. Then we need to enter it here. As you can see, we have a proper ID. I make sure to have that. So in this email input, we are going to find it by this ID email. So we are going to type here this unique email. We are going to click send code. So for example, if I have this email, I can click, and as you can see, this will be refreshed. My code will be sent to MailSwap. We're going to wait until we receive this email. We're going to read the body. We'll get the code. It's looking something like this. This is the body. So we'll need to parse this message and get just the code. We'll return here. We'll enter the code. We'll click verify, and then we need to verify that we're on the profile page and the right user is displayed. So as I said, MailSwap, they have an excellent documentation. They have excellent documentation about their Java client. So if we, for example, want to get an inbox, here is the code. As I said, I just use the documentation, and the only thing that you need to make sure is that when you go here to your profile, you have a special authentication key that the best practice is to store as environmental variable, because this is a secret and nobody wants to know it. So you need to provide to the client your authentication key, and afterwards we can check all of these emails. And when we copy this part here, we'll get a unique inbox, or basically by the inbox you can get the unique email that we require to type. And then from the right menu here, we can, for example, check the receive emails part. We'll need that one. Their Java API is a little bit ugly because, as you can see here, we need to pass a lot of nulls. But anyway, again, we need this wait for controller API. We need to provide the default client, and then we're going to wait for the latest email to be received using this method here. And then when we have the email, we are going to parse the body basically as text, we are going to extract the code, and basically that's it. So let's see the code. As I said, first we navigate to our website, then we navigate, then we find the email tab. After we have the email tab, we need to click it. Here is how we click it. Then, as I said, I copied from their documentation. We need a unique inbox. It's again too long, but basically you just need to provide nonce here, everything by default. Then I'm going to find the email input where we need to type our email, and using inbox, get email address here. From this object here, it gives us this method get email address. This will give us the unique email address, and then in order to type the same code, we first again we need to find this specific input here. Let me quickly remind you, this one here, enter code. We can find it by ID or by this label, it doesn't matter, one of the two approaches. And then we need to actually this is the send login button on the previous input, and at this moment the email is sent. How this is done, we're in the demo application I'm using another service that it's really popular. It's called SendGrid. So I have a free account here up to, I don't know, as you can see, up to 2000 text messages can be sent for free. No, actually this is about video SMS, but it's the same. The free account gives you, you can send a lot of emails via code. So I'm using the SendGrid here in the demo app. If we take a closer look how this works, we have the authentication passwordless. We are generating the code. In the session we are setting the code, and then we are generating the message to be sent from the SendGrid sender email. And here we are just, this is JavaScript by the way, not JS. So we are sending the code using their service. I just installed all of the necessary Node.js stuff. You don't need to know all of this. Maybe in your application under test is a little bit different, but anyway, we need, at this moment we need to wait for this email. So as I showed you in the mail swap documentation, we need this wait for controller API, which will basically whoop and check whether we have the latest email. I got all of this directly from their documentation. So we get the current time and we are waiting basically for the latest received email. You need to be careful though, because if you are running tests in parallel, if you are using just a single inbox for all of the tests inside this test suite, there might be a problem. You might confuse the emails. So this is why I suggested that every particular test you need to have a unique inbox. So now we need to get, we received the email, this is fine, but at this point we need to, so we found the code input that I showed you, and we need to extract the email code from the body. As you can see here, from the received email, this is an object that comes from this mail swap models dependency, and I created additional method here called extract code, where we provide the body of the email, and we are using a little bit more complex Java code where we are using regex patterns to extract just the code, just the numbers, right, in order to type them. Again, don't worry, You can do it with split or with any other simpler method. That's not a problem. But here I use regex expressions. If you're not familiar with them, you can check Java documentation or you can ask your developers for help, because this is a little bit more advanced. And when we have this code, the rest of the code is really straightforward. Basically, we're clicking the verify code button. Then we're on the profile page. Using the ID, we're finding the username, checking that basically my username is there, and then we're clicking the logout button. That's all. Basically, the whole more complex code is about how to use mail swap, but again, it looks scary, but it's not, because basically when you go to the documentation, it's just copy paste and creating the account. And when you heard of it, this is the reason for this video. It's really easy to automate that. One more thing that you can, if you are interested, you can check my other video about email testing. I just included this here as well. You can check this email testing video on the Lambda Test channel. But anyway, I wanted to explain another approach when we have emails. Right now we don't have, we need just to get the code. But if you have, for example, a newsletter or something more complex as an HTML body of the email, sometimes we need to interact with it. And it's possible to load the email body inside the browser and use the Selenium WebDriver to interact with it. To do so, I created, when you have the body, this body will return the HTML as string. We have this method called load email body. The thing that we are doing here is that we need to replace some of the characters. When we do that, we can create a temporary HTML file, save it to the hard drive, and then we can navigate to it inside the browser. If you are using, for example, the Lambda Test platform, since this is a local file, Lambda Test gives you the possibility of this local folder when you enable this proxy, Lambda Test proxy that you need to start. You can check the documentation for that, or just check the video that I recommended. So it's both doable on your local machine, and here we can navigate to this demo email, and then we can navigate back to our website. It's really easy to do the same using the Lambda Test platform. The only thing that you need to do is to go to the capabilities website of Lambda Test, generate all those capabilities, which platform you want, whether you want CDP enabled, whether you want videos. You need to have this Lambda Test username and access key as part of your account. And after that, as I said, the only time when you need to enable this private tunnel to be able to access this local folder is when you want to access and actually work with WebDriver to interact with this local file. Besides that, you don't need that, and for this simplest scenario with the codes, you don't need to do anything else. And now let's review Twilio. So as I said, Twilio is a popular platform for messaging, working with phones, test phones, and SMS. You can buy many different phone numbers to do so. So I created a free account. For $1 or $2 I bought a phone number to be able to test my application, and with this phone I can send SMS. This is the thing that I did actually here. Send verification code. Again, I installed the necessary Node.js libraries. I'm generating the code, and then using the Twilio client, I'm sending those SMS. I'm doing the same for reading the SMS. Basically, I check their documentation. They have a nice documentation here about receiving. There are many demos here on different languages. And the thing that you need to do is, again, you need to install this Twilio SDK, the latest version. This will give you all of the clients. Again, I just visited their documentation. So you need these accounts, basically your account ID and authentication token. You need to save them as environmental variables, or if you use Azure or Amazon Secrets Managers, you need to save these secrets there. Then actually the work with it's much simpler than the work with emails. You need just to initialize, you just need to call this init method, providing the ID and the token, which are basically two strings. After that, we are starting the driver. Again, the procedure for our demo app is similar. Here, instead of the email, I need to provide the test phone number, click the send, then again there will be another input here for the code, and then I need to click verify. That's all. So what I'm doing here is in the login method via SMS, I'm first navigating to the website, then I'm clicking the SMS tab, then I'm finding the phone number. Again, this Twilio phone number, I bought it for $1 per month. Then I'm clicking the SMS button. Again, simple locator here. I find it by text, send SMS code. And then we need to find and get the latest SMS received on this phone number. So I created this get latest SMS method. Again, I basically copied it from this article that I showed you from their documentation for Java. Basically, this will return the latest SMS received. Again, you need to be careful if you run tests on a single phone number in parallel, because they can mess up. So you need to have a proper strategy for that. But basically, this method will return this message class, and after that, we find the input of the SMS code. The messages have a getter get body, and similarly to what I have for the emails, I have a similar regex expression for extracting the code, just the numbers, so that I can paste in the input. So in the SMS input, I'm typing the code, then we click the verify button, and the rest of the test is the same. I'm finding the username, verifying the username, and clicking logout. That's everything. Of course, right now this complex code, I put it directly in the test classes, which is not the best practice. The best practice is to create these special classes like this, these wrapper classes, these services or managers or utilities, whatever word you use in your context. Basically, I moved the different classes, initialization logic, and different methods that we can have. For example, creating an inbox, waiting for the latest email, sending an email, loading the HTML body, etc., etc. Directly here in this utility class, I have the same for TestMu services. We have the same classes, utility classes in the biometrics framework. So yeah, basically when you're going to use this quite often in your tests, I suggest to create this infrastructure utility classes for the emails and for the SMS as well. I think this wraps up the things that I wanted to share in this particular video. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments or questions, put them in the comment section below. Of course, if you haven't, again, check the Lambda test blog, click the like button. If you haven't issued your certifications, please do so. Subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video. Thank you.